Good morning. It's lovely to see everybody here. It's exciting. I actually came to Christine through my sister Coral, who we're both in the same grade, and I mean, that was always fun. Later on, when Chris was involved in her accident, that's where she came into my life with great impact. We do have a daughter who's in a wheelchair, is very severely disabled, and I have to say that through the recovery process that Christine went through, we were with her. My sister was with her. There were lots of people that came out to support her, and it was truly remarkable and impacted me in a way that it's carried me through some very difficult times in my own life. And I said, "You've influenced me," and she's looking at me, "You've got to be kidding me." And I said, "Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you're not looking." So I just felt that her story was so remarkable. It's really, she is a trailblazer, but she's really done things against the odds. I mean, she became an engineer and was one of 20 women in, I think, that year of 1,600 or 1,600 engineers at Queen's. So, and she had to fight her way through every single class. I mean, they hammered women. And so, and she yesterday was telling the students that she made it her business to know the information before she was asked. So she knew all the answers. So she was really forging good territory out there for women. And as a result, I'm sure the percentage of engineers that are graduating there that are women has greatly increased, so thanks to trailblazing. And also her remarkable recovery. There were overwhelming odds of her ever walking out of the Mayo Clinic. It was 98% to 2. So she said, "I'm not interested in the 98%. I'm looking at the 2. How do I do it?" And that was, she did that against the odds because all the doctors that ever came in there said, "Forget it, it's not going to happen. Get your mind out of there, we're going to do, reconstruction." So without any more, we love and appreciate what Christine has managed to do in her life. She's my inspiration. Christine, thanks.
Be back home again. Where do you begin? King City was a wonderful foundation for not only a career in engineering that opened many doors to really worldwide travel, but also when I did have that experience in the car accident and experiencing total paralysis and waking up into a situation going, now what do I do? And realizing the reality of the situation and the almost the hopelessness of it. Fortunately, my family and friends friends from King City and family members were such an inspiration to me at the time, and really showed such tremendous courage in the way they presented themselves, and never got teary-eyed in front of me and that sort of thing. And I thought, lying in bed with all the computer systems going, you hear the bleeps and everything, and I'm looking at this picture outside of me and going, well, I can't be that bad. Nobody looks distressed. So I thank them, my family and friends, and all the wonderful friends I met here for that encouragement, because that gave me the incentive to go forward at that point too. And it's interesting how life provides those little baby steps as we go along, and to enlighten you on how I did recover was really each night. And really, I should give you this background. Because my neck was broken. It was really a break in the front and the back, and there was, from what I understand from my family, there was no measure of any activity going through the spine at all. It was zippo. So the news that my family was given was, forget it, this is this is never going to happen, this is hopeless. And they're looking at this picture of someone who's very active and very outgoing, and they're going, now what do we do? But they held their composure, and against all odds, again, at the time, they put you in this contraption called the halo, and it's a piece of metal that goes around your head, and it's bolted into your head, 2 bolts in the front and 2 at the back, and there's 2 posts that come down the front and 2 at the back, and then they have like a fiberglass cast, and it keeps you very rigid. You can't move at all. Not that it could anyways, but you couldn't move. And then they just flip you, they turn you over on your bed every 2 hours. So you have a lot of time to think. And you're looking at a lot of ceilings, and you see a lot of dots up there, and my family was very kind, and they put posters up, and flowers all around. The room was incredibly decorated. Lots of company, lots of visitors. But in those quiet moments in the evening, when you're all alone and you're by yourself, and I would have what I would call almost like an outer body experience. And in a situation where you're under such distress, you can actually shut the world off and close it off almost. And in that space, I made a connection, and I saw this ray of light come down, literally from, I'll refer to it as outer space, or the universe, whatever you like to call it. And it came down into the top of my head. It was just a thin ray of light. And I would follow it, go right down my spine, right down, almost at the cellular level, from cell to cell to cell, all the way down my back, into my legs, and so forth. And I knew in my heart that if that light reached my toes, I would walk again. So I watched it night after night. This went on for weeks, and until the point came where I knew I could move my toe. I couldn't feel it. So my sister Laura, God bless her heart, she took a leave of absence from her work and was with me day to day for numerous months, and would get me ready to get me dressed, get me all set, ready to go to the therapies. Always made sure I was there. It was always an adventure with her, bombing around the corners in the hallway at 90 miles an hour in a wheelchair in this contraption, and she made it a lot of fun. And I, of course, rode on that wave, and told her one day that I think my toe is moving. I think I can move my toe. And I told her, and on the command, she said, well, I'm going to move it. And I moved, and she's jumped up and down for joy. And I said, well, let's just keep this to ourselves. Let's keep it quiet. Because there was great opposition from the doctors at the time. They really, and understandably so, their perception, I'm sure, they see someone in this condition, all of these test results are saying, no way, there's nothing there. They're saying, you'll never walk again. Of course, that was not the picture I was holding. And so I asked Laura to keep this little news quiet, and we managed to keep it quiet for a couple of weeks anyways. Of course, it gets out, and you can't contain that joy. I can only contain that joy for so long. So again, the doctors realized that there was progress being made, and they were, interesting enough, not very supportive of it. Said it was, just a muscle spasm, and can't be you. Forget it. There's no hope, and it just got to a point where, because I was so adamant that I would walk again, I had this feeling, I had this knowingness. I was seeing this light night after night, coming down from the universe into my body, and I was watching it heal myself. I was watching myself being healed. So they couldn't shut me up. And I really wanted to be that 2% of their studies. And I just would only focus on that 2%, and that's where I wanted to be. And so they gave me, I guess, an attempt to keep me quiet. They gave me an IQ test, or some sort of evaluation. And it came out that I was a genius. So they backed way off. They treated me completely different. They were now willing to go into agreement with I was basically setting up my own therapy programs in conjunction with the therapists that were there and with what they were willing to do and help me with. And we became a working team, and it was wonderful. A lot of the therapists were just super human beings. They would come on their lunch hour, they'd come on their weekends, they'd come after work. I mean, these people didn't have to do that. The nurses would come in, they'd sit down, have a cup of coffee with me, and they'd smile, and they'd laugh, and they really helped keep my spirits up in a time of my life that was just low. But we made it through that, and I was determined to walk out of that hospital without a wheelchair, and I did. And it was just myself and a friend that came and took me home. There was no doctors there, there was no fanfare. But in my heart, I always knew that the healing would be complete, and I continued on with developing my own therapy sessions and swimming and things that really worked for me. It was great being in a swimming pool. You're almost like weightless. So I learned how to run again and walk again. You could fall and it didn't hurt. So really picked myself up really in a swimming pool, and just kept going until I was able to get back on my feet and ride my bike again and take airplane lessons and things like that. Really, life found other ways to open up channels that I thought wouldn't be open again. And much to my surprise, prior to the car accident, I was doing getting my pilot's license. I was almost close to taking the test and being finished with it. Boom, this happens, I gotta start all over again. But when I got in that airplane again, it was a sense of freedom, because you get up there and you're flying around at 150 miles an hour or so, and it's just like, wow, I go faster again. So it really propelled me on to the next step, and I just wonderful support from all my friends and family. I could talk about this for hours. I'm sure what you want to hear, but you're welcome to ask me questions if you like. But I guess now, what I'm doing now is, there's always been a desire to know what this light is. And so now I'm really searching that. I have all my life, but I really I've found the source now, and really pursuing that what that light meant. And that again has opened up a whole new realm of information and knowledge and whatnot. And it's really a study. It really becomes a study of oneself, and really becoming your own self-detective almost, and watching your own thoughts and feelings, and seeing what irritates you, what creates anger, how you maintain your harmony, what takes you off point from that. And in essence, you become a master of yourself. And in becoming that, in eliminating all the negative talk in my mind, I know I will walk through the thoughts that are maintaining the remainder that I have to go through to get to my complete healing. So I hope sometime in the near future that I'll be running through the doors and dancing and twirling and that sort of thing. So when you see that, you'll know I've been completely healed. And again, I thank for all the teachers and all the wonderful friends that I've met here. Just been such a tremendous support system in my own family, my own kids, and they've just been an absolute, my own family's been a tremendous inspiration. They have never said, no, can't do it, Christine. They've always been, and my friends likewise have always been that way. So Cindy, it's reverse, work comes back at you, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have shared this with you. All the best to you all.